Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So we're in for the last episode here of Oslo S morning timetable. So let's get moving along here. Should have about 40 minutes left. Got 41 trains, so basically this will get us down. So when it finishes, we'll be done. I think we're targeting 7,610. So let's see, we've got that one ready. I think, if I remember at the last episode before I saved, I think I had gotten everything done. Let's see, where are we at here? There we go. Anything else? No. Alright, now we're going to have these others come pretty quickly. Alright, at this point, okay, this one is ready as well. And then we're going to need, once that moves, to get the next one ready. 642, 340. So I've just been doing this particular series at this point. You know, if I can find a timetable map like this that I can actually play through and still talk through, figured that might help, especially if there's anybody new to the game now that it's gone out of early access a few weeks ago. And people might be interested. What's this thing about? You know, this is one of the modes. It's actually my favorite mode. I know other people, I think, enjoy Endless and so forth, and it's not that I don't enjoy it. I just am not wonderful at, you know, building all this type of stuff out in a way that then makes sense as I go. And Endless mode, I guess, gives me a little bit more flexibility. But let's see, before I get too far. Alright, this will get us to Oslo. So that one's there. Now I need number 4. That's going to go to Oslo North 10, which is there. And then we are going to have another one. Whoops, went too far again. Off the screen, and so that ends up cutting the sound off, so I apologize. So I will say, when I found this on the workshop, because the challenge is, this ended up actually being one that didn't really say how difficult it was. It just talked about in the description. But when you see 252 trains, sometimes you're thinking, well, that's got to be a 24-hour one or something like that, because there are definitely a good amount of those. But that is not the case here. Alright, so now I can go ahead, get that one set through 1. Let's see, what's next? Okay, it's going to be this one. So we're going to get this cleared. Basically, once this train gets by, it will go ahead and do what it needs. So this one's going there, and then it's going to basically leave up here to Gjovikbanken. Gjovikbanen, I'm going to go with. I might be doing a terrible job. I've not put any of these out yet, so nobody's going to have the ability to correct my Norwegian pronunciation of locations. It's interesting, though, because we've not had this one in play yet. I'm wondering if that's going to be like the last train. It's just pretty rare on timetable maps that they put places in that don't get used. So I'm guessing something's going to come out of there and then need to go. Alright, so here, this one's going to Oslo 6. So we're going to come in here. There we go. Turn this around. Alright, and then this one is going over here to that, so it's another one of those type of trains. And this one is then going to come up through here and go through 2 over there. So that gets that one set. The other ones are much further away again. Alright, so we're going to be down to 36 here pretty soon. So I'm guessing if it's, 40-ish minutes, we're going to be just past 10 a.m. by the time this is done. Because basically we had 35 minutes to go from the 25, and it started at 5:25. So that is my thought, is that we're, we basically have 35 minutes left now. Which I think would be about right. Alright, so once this goes up here, it should clear me out. So again, the train is starting to move. Hopefully we won't have a problem. There we go. So it opens up. It'll get through there. And then this one will come later. But again, it's not for 2 more minutes. Let me get these going. So this is going to go to Oslo South 3. And then this one is going to go to Oslo North 9. Which again are all things that are things we've done before. So I'm imagining they're just the same train at multiple times throughout the morning, the same type of train. Maybe they'll be a little bit longer with more cars as the day goes on, because you've got folks that are, going to work or something, and so they need more trains at maybe 7:30 than they do at 5:30. I mean, I can kind of tell you what the trend is in the US with things like that, but I don't know if that translates into Europe the same way. Alright, so now we've got a couple more. We're going to come back in here, go to 7, and then... Oh, I was thinking we have one coming in on 1. I'm like, that is unique, but that's not what's happening. Alright, and then this one is going to Oslo 4 South, which again is something that is not uncommon. Alright, so we now have this one, and then we're going to have this one going off. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up. And we're probably going to go ahead and, well, we definitely are going to go ahead and, let's see, which one was this? This one. So we're going to stop this one, let that do that, and then we're going to move this back, and then 4 will draw back in once we're going. So if we do have a situation, I may end up going back, reverting to a start at some point, or an autosave to fix things. That can happen. It has happened at least once in each episode. I'm hoping because this is shorter, and frankly because we have less trains, that I can keep track of things here, and we won't have that problem. Especially since, as I said, there is a lot of kind of repetition. Alright, so this one is coming down here. Alright, and that's the one on 4 finally. And then we're going to have one coming in on 3 in a little bit. 9:35, we're going to have a couple. So, we're going to have one there and one there, so at least they're going to be together. Again, this one's going to get us to 7. This one's ready to head off the map in a bit. And then once we get past this switch and the auto switch does what it needs to do, then I'll bring in and stage number 3, or platform 3. Alright, everybody's moving along, so here we go. Get that. Get that. Again, like they're crossing, that one's crossing underneath, so they're not really impacting each other, so that's why they're able to come in that way. Alright, So now we've got that. And now we can do 3, which is going to go to Oslo South 1, which is here. Alright, looks like we've got several minutes here, so this one's going to go to 2. Alright, and then we've got another one there. This one looks like a freight train again. Yeah, it is. So maybe we'll go the same way we did before, which was basically straight across. And then I think I came down here to 8. And I'll leave it there for now because otherwise we keep fighting with these. But that should help get that going. So we're going to have one last freight train that's going to cause some challenges. Alright. And this one's coming up to 8. So I guess I'll have to be careful with that, with the freight train, because now I'm going to have something heading up in that direction later. So let's see. It's going to be at 8 from 9:45 to 9:47. Alright, and this one has to be through before then. It's got a 3-minute head start. So, I mean, if it can get through the through that location, so I probably need to leave that so that once this clears, it can go through, and then hopefully that will work. And we'll be able to get that freight train through. So let's see. There we go. And now we can do that. And then that will flip in at the right time. Alright, and then we've got another one coming in here that's going to 5. You know, because that's the challenge, too, is we've got a lot of trains that come in stage here, which are then obviously departing. Alright. So this one's coming through here. So we've got to get that one again set. Alright, here comes our freight train. So, and we at least get most of the time, or as much time as we can. You know, I might have lost a second or two. But what I'm trying to then avoid is the next one that comes down here. So we're going to see where we're at it when we have to put this one out. And let's see, is this a passing? So yeah, it shouldn't happen until that time. But the hope is, because I'm going straight, that it's just going to move more directly. Alright, and then we're going to get this one there, because that will definitely happen before then. Alright, and then we're going to go to Oslo 3 South, which is here, but that's going to leave later. So, as you can see, not fast. I mean, it is a freight train, so they're just kind of moving along. We're already a minute. You know, it's possible that it won't even be till here, but the other train, I mean, has to go all the way around and come through and then get up the tunnel. So if you look at that, like, it has all that traversal. You know, so I would think if it's at least here by 9:41 when I start the train, I'll be in good shape. Yeah, it's going 60, and that's its maximum, where some trains can go 200. I don't know that that one will. Yeah, I can go 120, but it's basically twice the speed. But usually it's pretty good, and I think this is the direction, or the way I went. Alright, so this one's going, again, back down the, kind of down the middle, as I say, because the freight trains come out of 3. I'm wondering if we're going to have some freights at the end, down here at the Lodalen yard and stuff like that. I guess we'll find out as we go. Still have 29 trains, and again, that includes the ones on the map right now. If, again, you're not familiar with it. All right, we're going to be really close because we've still got like 40 seconds to go. So it may not quite be there, but I think we'll be good because at some point I'll just be able to get this one and just keep it going when it gets closer. Because this one should be clear. It doesn't look like we're going to have anything else set. And this is leaving, okay, this is leaving on 2, which is also different. So I'm going to set this up now as if it's going to work, but we'll see. Right, so not really there yet. It's probably going to take another 30 seconds, if not more, to get to that curve. But even if the other one needs to wait a little bit, you know, it's got to be there 9:45, and I need to be leaving that station at 9:45. So this one, regardless, has to get there first. All right, so we've got that other one. No, okay, I do have that going to 3, and then we're going to have this one going to Oslo 7, which is up here and here. Alright, and it didn't turn it on, so I think we'll be okay. Alright, he's in the tunnel. He's coming through. Again, I think, yeah, that one's going to 5, so basically, whoops. Didn't realize that both of them came in together. Last thing I want to do is create a problem here at the end. That would be disappointing. Let me turn this around. That one's going to be close to the end because it's almost 20 minutes. Whoops. Let's see. Gonna head up here, and then here, and here. So, yep. Alright, so that will get that one through. Alright, 28 left. Alright, freight train is coming. Oh, the other one already, wow, it went around. That thing is moving, so it's going to be interesting, but I think the other one is stopping a bit. But yeah, it's in the tunnel right now. So it'll be what it'll be, and once again, there's no penalty for stopping. Yeah, so it's slowing down. So it's just letting us know. Alright. I was getting a little worried, but I was looking at this one. I'm like, it's not going to make it, but wrong track. So that one worked well, counted well. And then basically once this clears, because, yeah, it's going to wait 2 minutes there then. So now it finally stopped fully. That was what that second beep is. Alright, and this one is going out through the same vacation point. And then, alright, and then this one's going here. Alright, and it's, again, waiting because that one has to clear, but, so it's going to slow down a bit, but this isn't that long of a train. It just, the way this goes, it has to kind of clear all the way through that signal, so it is a bit much. There we go, so we didn't even get to the full stop. Because, yeah, we had come up here, down here, and over there for that train that went there. This one's going to 2, which is the correct point. Alright, so we're all set there. Let's see. We've got another one coming in here, so that's going to go to Oslo 1. And then we're going to have another one coming in there, going to Oslo 8 South. So that will be there. Alright, and at this point, I can get this one routed through here. Alright, so it's got to get there in less than a minute, but again, it's just got to get there. So we are good, but as you can see, we needed every little bit of that, but there we go. So the freight train is through, and so I would think at this point that's probably one of our last big tests, unless they were just really crazy and gave us something at the end. But keep in mind that what the creator has said is this was the realistic schedule, so I don't think in the real world they're like, let's make it a diabolical switching process. You know, that really wouldn't happen. So again, the one going up to 7 is in the tunnel. Okay, that one left, 24. Freight's gonna leave, we'll be down to 23. Alright, there we go. So they're coming in here, heading to 1. We've got that. Alright, this one then is going to 9. And then again, it looks like it's going to head out to that center exit at some point. So that's going to work out pretty well, but we should be down to 20-ish minutes now. So next batch also through here. So we'll just get that one staged as well. And then, let's see. So yeah, we're going to let this one go. Alright, here comes that. Again, going to Oslo South 8. And then it's just basically going to come back, but then head out 1. Alright, and this one's going to 1. This one's going next to 2, but our freight train is gone. Alright, and then we've got just another regional coming out of here. So that won't be anything too crazy, but that'll go there. So just another one of those that head over the map. So you are able to speed things up if you choose to. Whoops. Alright, so let me turn this one off. I'm going to get this one to here. Okay, this one's coming in here. Somehow I had missed the 1, but alright, so I'm going to have to rebuild some things here. Alright, because this one's going to 2, so we need that. But then we're going to need this one, again, heading over here, 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 and here. Alright. So, should be okay. Now, 952. That one's going to go to Oslo 5. So that's there. So a lot going on. Alright, this one's set to go. Clear up. Alright, now I want to rebuild that one. Again, I just need to make sure when this one clears that we have Oslo 7 as what comes out of it. So otherwise, if I go to Oslo 5, that will be wrong. Alright, so that one coming through. We've got the one that will be coming in on 4 again. It's going to 9. That one's going to 2. Alright, this one's leaving shortly. Heading to 1. Okay. And that one should then go to 7. It had 2 there, but that was because I didn't fully clear in that direction. But this will get me there. You know, the biggest trick is, are we going to be clear of this, which we should be at that point. I think we'll be good. So, we've got everybody going where they need to be going. It's a little bit slower, but again, we've got basically 15 minutes with still 21 trains. Now keep in mind there's probably 7 or 8 on the screen, so we really don't have, you know, that many new ones coming through. But there we go, and now that will drop in, and so when we start getting the next train through there on that line, we'll be in good shape. This one is going to go to Oslo 3. Again, kind of the same grouping we have. We're going to get this set up through here. So at this point, we're just running a lot of those trains that way. Alright, just making sure nobody's tricking me, heading to the wrong location. Alright, they're going to 1. The next one's going to 1 as well. Alright. That will get that one there. This should be going to 5. It is. And then again, we've got another one behind there. Alright, and then another one coming out of here. And I think GC is another cargo. So, where's that? Goodness. So we're going to play that game, huh? Alright, so let's look. Right now I don't have anything behind me there, so I'm going to take the same path I did before. And we're going to hope. What I may do is go through 6, because nothing's going there. So we'll get that far. And now we're going to take this one here. Alright, this one's going through to Oslo 2. So, I'm just going to go right where that train is. This other one's going to take off in a bit. Alright, this one's going back down that middle path. So we'll get that set so that that one is done. Alright. So these are 7.5 minutes, 8.5 minutes. I do need to turn him around. Alright, and then at this point, this one's going to go here and here. So it looks like everything's lined up because it didn't automatically go down. So that should work perfectly well. And now we should go up. Alright, so yeah, so it's waiting because this is the freight line. But what I probably need to do... Yeah, I'm going to need to let that one go first and then do the freight line. Because this one going through to 2 is a minute ahead. And it's also going to be faster. So that's some of the sorting that ends up happening in the schedules. And once again, because this isn't a fabricated schedule, it's just the way the dispatchers designed the schedule. And I think that frankly is partially what makes it a little easier for this to be manageable, because this is a real schedule that someone would have to be able to kind of safely run. Alright, so had to fix things again and start back up because In flipping and getting rid of going to 6 here, when the new one showed up, I had a problem. So basically I need to go through to 8. Basically the one that was going to 2 then suddenly went this way instead of where I had him routed. So that didn't work out the way I needed it to. So it created a last-minute problem. So I did not get through any scenario or any segment of this without having to revert back to a save, unfortunately. But our freight is now coming out. And again, this should hopefully then go through. Alright, and then I was getting ready to get this one, which goes to 6. Which is kind of what got me to understand I couldn't go through 6. Alright, this one is set to go through to 2, so I should be good. And it looks like this one's going to go first, so we're going to get this one all built up. Alright, and the freight didn't have to slow down, and I assume it's got the same 60 kilometers. Yep. Alright, so that's that, and then we're going to get these through, and what I was starting to say is, yeah, it's not having the conflict with these ends up being the problem. Alright, so this is headed through to the middle, that one's going there, this one's going to be going kind of right back where that is, so let's see, we're going to take it here, and then here. Then I don't have to go through any manual switches. That will work for that. And then we've got this one going to Oslo 10 North. So that will be important as well. Alright, well, it's getting so close you can taste it, right? Now I'm not sure. I'm going to clear that because I think that's all we've got. Alright, this should be moving shortly. This one will now come in, and then I'll get that one updated when I can. Alright, this one's going to Oslo 5. So we're going to get that built out. So that goes up here and here. Alright, and that one's going to clear out in a moment. Okay, that one's going to go. This one's going to come here, so we are going to have a lot of trains potentially playing with this one. And again, this one barely made it. I kind of had to keep it going, so I'm hoping I have a bit of a break. I'm hoping, because I think this one does sit, if I remember, till 10:05. So I think I basically just need to get this other one out, and then we'll be good. So let me get that built through, because this will take some time to get over there. Alright, this one is set. This one's still got a couple minutes. Alright, I think we're in good shape. Alright, and now this. Oh, but goodness. Where's this one going? This is a freight going the other way. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, so this is gonna go here. And then this one's going where? To 10? Alright, so I'm gonna take him through 9, I think. And then he's heading over there. Is where that freight is gonna go that's coming in on 4. So we've got 2 freights at the end, which is a little insane. Alright, we've got that one built through 5, or we should. Alright, so again, in a minute this one's gonna go, and this one's going to what? To 1. So that is where he is headed. Alright, so that freight will be coming in a bit. So that is interesting because that's going to take till 10:12, so it seems like it's more than 40 more minutes, but maybe they didn't go till the end of the line. I don't know. Alright, and then this one's going to go here and here. But it's going to have to stop for a little bit. And here comes the other one going the other way. And then very shortly we're going to have that one coming in there. Alright, and now this one finally is going to go across to number 2. So that's just a quick evacuation. We're getting rid of these. And then this one is going to come over here. I always hate that sound because it usually means something that I've lost some points, but not in this case. Because again, that one needs to be there at 10:03. This one doesn't need to be there till 10:05. There's really not a quicker way to do this. The only difference would have been if I had it up there. It might have worked a little bit better, but this is where it's at. So I might get stuck and have to redo something, but hopefully not. Because that would be a sad little bit, but... Alright, and this one now is coming through here, and this one is going to go to Oslo 3. Alright. So this one's going to get moving in a bit. And again, it's got a ways to go, so good news is this one's moving with some good speed. Alright, so now the freight will get going again. And we've really got till almost 10:06, so we've got like 3 minutes and 15 seconds to get over there. And we are basically at top speed now. So this is as fast as it would have been moving anyway. But we obviously did lose some time. Alright, this is already set to go. Everybody's heading out. He's going to eventually very quickly get his points. Some of these are going to leave. Alright, so 10:03. If I think we have to be like past this point by 10:05. I think this little space in 30 seconds might work, but if it's further away than that, we're going to have a problem. Alright, and then this one is going to 2, so I can get this one there and there. Alright, and then we're going to have one coming in here, going to 9, which is where we're headed through, but again, it's going to be waiting for a while, so this thing will be through. Alright, so we're at 10:04, and we're basically almost at the signal. So we're going to make it, I'm pretty sure. We got 45 seconds before we even get into our minute of grace period. So I think we're good. Alright, we're down to 11 trains. And again, 2 of them are already leaving the map, so we're going to be down below 10 in a matter of moments. And obviously that one's then going to leave, so that's going to be one more. So it looks like this may be our last train here. So let's see. So this one's going to come in, go to Oslo 7. Alright, and there it is. So I believe we now have every train possible on the map. So now it's just a matter of clearing the map. Oops. That one's going down here. So there we go. We did get a little bit of slowdown there, but no penalties. So it worked out. Alright, and then I can get this one over here to 1. That'll be the last 2 there. And I think literally everybody's on their way. We're just going to have this last one that's going to need to come through. So we'll give it its full routing. And then we'll just enjoy the ride here. So I'm going to spend, I guess, the last few minutes, because I could go ahead and speed things up, but at this point it feels somewhat anticlimactic. I mean, if you've made it through 4+ hours of this already, I would think you'd just kind of like to see the trains do their thing. But, yeah, this one should be there in plenty of time, because if this one's going to get there at 10:07, God, it doesn't seem like it will, but I know better. It usually does a good job, so it would be very disappointing if somehow that wasn't the case. You know, again, we've got 20-some seconds. It will likely be around the turn, or at least starting around the turn. But we'll be there. But yeah, it's a good mix of puzzles to some degree, you know, just trying to figure out the best route, kind of like what we had to do here with the freight train of, oop, I can't go through 6, and yes, it did cause me a problem because the automated signal got the best of me, but, you know, beyond that, alright, so this is going to go to 2, so again, I'm just kind of finishing the last pieces of routing, and then this one's going to head out the middle through here. So they're both going to go. There we go. Made it in time. Kind of the nick of time all the time. But that'll get us down to 7. This one will head off. We'll be down to 6. And we've got 4 here. 1 there. 1 leaving here. Whoops. Somehow lost sound again at the last moment there. But there we go. So we're down to 7, 6, shortly down to 5 once that one heads out. Alright, there we go. So these are the last 4. So they're all going to head out, and then obviously they've kind of got to get to their place. So it's probably going to be this one that will be the last train off the map. And I think this was the last train onto the map, so that would make sense. But, you know, this one's leaving a minute ahead of time. So let's see, this one can go 120. This one can go 240. So yeah, this one will definitely be the longest. And I think it's 7610 that we're looking for. So basically, I think it's just the 40 points of each one getting to its final destination on time. So there goes the first one. In a minute, we'll have that one. Then these two will depart together. But obviously, this one has a much shorter distance. And the freight train is gonna head off into the sunset. Actually, it's going east, I guess. It's heading into the sunrise, right? But, yeah, it's been a long journey. I did get this whole thing done in a series of recordings in one physical day. So I did play the full 4 hours plus. I mean, it's not going to quite get to... It's probably closer to 4 hours and 50 minutes. Because really, like, at this point, we're already past where we should be at. It should have been 10:05, would have been 4 hours and 40 minutes. So they miscalculated. Alright, so in a minute, everything will be moving, and then it's just a matter of it getting finished. But 4 trains. So pretty exciting. It was an enjoyable scenario. If you get the game, you can find tons of maps in the workshop. That's where all of these come from. You just subscribe and they show up in your menu. Super, super easy. And then you just use them. And just like anything, you know, user content created, there's some creators that are better than others. Unfortunately, the early access has been years, I think. So there have been some great creators that have worked in early access and have been already gone for a year. So I'm a little disappointed with that. There's one I really like that I would love if they were still creating more content, but I think they got frustrated with some things, and I think they put a video of their own out there. I'm not going to chat about who or what it is. You can find that, I'm sure, if you really want. But, because it ultimately doesn't really matter at this point. You're either joining up and playing the game now, or, you know, you've already left and been gone for a bit anyway. Alright, so 10:14 is, I think, the last train. Looks like that's when we're going to have things get there. So he's going to leave at 10:14 as well. But basically until this goes down to 0, we're not going to have anything. Okay, I was like, wait, we're going to get more than 7610, but we already got the 10 points for this one, because he's been sitting there for a while. These two are just passing, so nobody's going to stop. So it's really going to be this one and this one that are going to be the last ones off the map. It seems to be getting louder, maybe because we're close and it can sense it. I don't know. Hopefully it's not overwhelmingly loud. But definitely, you know, let me know if you enjoyed you know, playthrough like this. I think for harder maps, it's would be very difficult. I think I'd almost just need to play and not say anything. And I know there's a lot of folks that complain on YouTube of videos that are just video and no audio of anything, especially like in Flight Sim, where people are like doing things but they're not explaining. It's like, you know, starting up a 737, and yeah, they're doing it, but they're literally telling you nothing. And so if you're not understanding what's happening, it just doesn't really work well. Alright, so in a moment we're going to get to 7600 when we get the points here. He'll be off the map first. And then it should be pretty close, so there we go. So this is our last points that are coming in, and he again just needs to hit that point by 10:14, which he's certainly going to do. And alright, 19 seconds, but he's also going to have to move. So this may be really the last one off the map. But, you know, I think, you know, if you're, so some of the challenges you can give yourself on things like this is, you know, you want to play it and you don't want to make any errors and you don't want to pause and whatever. That's a way to make it really challenging for yourself. You know, I've obviously had to revert to some saves. You know, it's just what you're okay with. There's no right or wrong way to play the game. Alright, so that one's off. They're actually going to be really close together. So let's see, can we see them? We can. And there we go. They basically both left at the same time. And there we go. We can already see that we're going to max out 3 stars. So we did it. So no penalizations. So everything good. So I've enjoyed myself. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you have any questions, any other comments, always happy to respond. I do my best to respond to every comment, at least acknowledging it and saying thank you, if nothing else. But love talking to the audience. Not a lot of activity on the Discord channel. No one's really chatting there, so we've only got about 60 people, but every video has a link to that if you want to go and join that too. You know, maybe one of these days we'll have a rip-roaring community with all kinds of conversation. That would be awesome. But if you've enjoyed this, haven't dropped a like, please consider doing that. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please consider doing that. They both help, and they're both incredibly appreciated by me. And I will see you next time.